after traveling quite a distance, I arrived at Watson Lake City. Watson Lake is a beautiful city with quite an interesting view of the lake. We can see the city of Watson Lake with the beauty of the lake. For that I convey information about Watson Lake from my various observations. Wood bison, the largest land mammal in North America, can often be seen grazing along the Alaska Highway south of Watson Lake. Known as the gateway to the Yukon, Watson Lake is the first Yukon community on the Alaska Highway when traveling from BC. Watson Lake is named after Frank Watson, who left California in the 1897 rush for Klondike gold. Watson Lake is a town in Yukon, Canada, located at mile 635 on the Alaska Highway close to the British Columbia border. The Canada 2016 census put the population at 790, a drop of 1.5% from 802 in 2011. 1. The town is named for Frank Watson, an American-born trapper and prospector, who settled in the area at the end of the 19th century. Watson Lake is near the Liard River, at the junction of the Robert Campbell Highway and the Alaska Highway. The Casa Highway's northern end is 22 kilometers, 14 miles, west of Watson Lake. The town is also served by the Watson Lake Airport. The airport was formerly served by Canadian Pacific Airlines and other local and regional airlines, but now only provides corporate and charter services. Watson Lake is the main center of the small forestry industry in Yukon and has been a service center for the mining industry, especially for the Cassar asbestos mine in northern British Columbia and the Kantung tungsten mine on the Yukon Northwest Territories border in the Mackenzie Mountains. Tourist attractions in Watson Lake include the Northern Lights Center and the much-imitated original signpost forest. The signpost forest was started in 1942 by a homesick U.S. Army GI working on the Alaska Highway, who put up a sign with the name of his hometown and the distance. Others followed suit and the tradition continues to this day. As of August 2010 there are more than 76,000 signs of various types depicting locations across the world. The signpost forest is one of 4 roadside attractions featured on the first series of the Canadian Roadside Attractions series issued by Canada Post on July 6, 2009. Watson Lake and the neighboring Liard settlement are the home of the Liard River First Nation, a member of the Kaskadina Council. The 2-mile area immediately north of the core of town is a concentrated area of First Nations residents, while the town extends 5 miles, 8 kilometers, out to the turnoff of Airport Road. Originally, Airport Road extended directly to the Alaska Highway, but most of it is now part of the Campbell Highway. Watson Lake's most recognizable landmark is unique, endearing and a little bit wacky, in a good way. A simple act by a homesick American soldier in 1942 began what would become the signpost forest. While building the Alaska Highway, the soldier posted a sign pointing in the direction of his hometown more than 4,300 kilometers away. Visitors from around the world have since posted their own signs, creating a one-of-a-kind attraction, crowdsourcing decades before people even knew what crowdsourcing was. Walk the pathways lined with over 85,000 signs and find a spot to add your own. More history waits at the Watson Lake Airport, where the original BC Yukon Air Service hangar still stands. Built in 1941, it played a key role in the American Army's World War II Lend-Lease program as well as in the building of the highway. Handsome and aging well, the hangar loves to pose for pictures. Next up, a natural phenomenon. At the Northern Lights Space and Science Center, summer visitors hear the legends and learn the science of the mesmerizing aurora borealis. Be awestruck as colorful northern lights dance across a panoramic video screen. This is your best chance to see the aurora in the summer when the Yukon skies swap northern lights for midnight sun. Back outdoors, Wye Lake is a scenic park with a playground, picnic area and a 2.5-kilometer trail that loops around the lake. Right downtown, it's a great spot to bird watch, relax and chat with the locals. Lucky Lake, about 5.5 kilometers out of town, is a pretty getaway that's great for swimming and wildlife watching. Hike the forest trail down to the fast-flowing river for a view of the Liard River Canyon. With convenient services, friendly people and fascinating history, Watson Lake is a welcome stop between long stretches of beautiful highway driving. You cannot swim in Watson Lake nor its twin sister Willow Lake due to pollution. Both lakes are downstream from old strip mining of mercury. These are not freshwater lakes. They were created by water engineers to provide a sports lake, kayaking, limited fishing, using dams. The lake is primarily polluted from excessive nitrogen and phosphorus from fertilizers and animal waste, in addition to roadway chemicals. ADC has listed Watson Lake as impaired since 2003. Does Watson Lake have mercury? High mercury concentrations were found in fish in Granite Creek and Watson Lake that could affect sensitive fish-eating predatory birds. Fish pentachlorophenol residues were lower than suggested regulatory guidelines.